Hey, on today's video, we've got a viewer question from James, and here's what James has to say. I have a life insurance policy that I've had for many years, and I was able to stop paying premiums more than a decade ago while still keeping the policy in place. But I just got a letter that I need to start paying again to keep the policy. So what in the happened? James, I've got Frank here. He's a financial advisor. He's going to answer your question coming up next. All right, Frank. So James is a little peed.
He's a little upset, isn't he? Yeah.
But what happened? How do you stop paying premiums on something and then they come back 10 years later and say, oh, yeah, we need something?
Yeah, I know. It sounds like James got some bad advice is what I'm taking here.
Okay.
So,
when he first got told he could stop paying premiums,
and you actually can.
Okay.
You can actually stop paying premiums on a life insurance policy. But what you got to realize is that before you do that, maybe you should call the insurance agent, the advisor, or the insurance company and say, okay, if I stop paying premiums because I've gone through maybe a difficult financial situation, and hopefully it's just temporary, how long will this policy stay in force? How long will it last before it collapses, which is what we call it, if I cease making premiums for a little bit. And so what happens is the policies that we use sound very similar to this. So it builds cash value up inside of that policy.
Okay.
Now, that cash value is also going to earn an interest rate based on market performance.
Okay.
So the premiums you pay in, the interest rate that it earns based on market performance, and then the cost of insurance, all of those components will tell you how long that policy will last. So if you actually...
let me clarify real quick. We're probably talking about whole life
or universal life or index universal life.
So probably not term. So we're in a different conversation.
You're not going to go 10 years without paying for term. You're not going to go 10 days without paying for term insurance. So they'll call you right away on that one. Hopefully they call you before they just lapse your policy.
Sure. Okay, that's helpful. Keep going.
Yeah. So basically what you're doing, you're just building equity up inside of that policy.
Okay.
And the cash that you're building up inside of that policy is able to support the cost of that insurance for quite a while.
Oh, I see.
And if the markets are performing or interest rates are decent, it'll support the cost of that policy for quite a while. But they'll be able to run an illustration and tell you how long. So if you just decided to quit paying your premiums and then 10 years later get a letter, you would have known that was going to happen if you would have done maybe a little due diligence ahead of time.
Okay. So some miscommunication happened a decade ago, probably here.
And it's, we ran into this quite a bit when I started.
Or it's 10 years, you might just forget, right?
You might, yeah, exactly. So, but interest rates change, right? And these insurance companies have to invest into instruments that are attached to that interest rate.
Yeah.
Right now, interest rates are a little bit higher, but for my entire career, interest rates have been at a historic low.
Okay.
So if you take out a policy and interest rates are running 7 or 8%, go way back in the day. So let's say it's an older contract, and then the interest rates come down. That means that policy is earning less money, and the insurance company is earning less money because their fixed portfolio is earning less money. So
to keep paying for the insurance, your cash value is getting depleted. Is that
that's exactly right?
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
So what it's been built up starts coming back down.
That's right. Yeah.
But it keeps at least the life insurance component part of it intact.
Right.
But so as he re-engages with this policy, in theory, he's going to come back into it with no cash value because it's run out most likely.
Cash value has supported that policy for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it probably actually has done a very good job of supporting that policy for that long.
Okay.
So, but it is an unfortunate situation if he didn't realize this was going to happen. But yeah, the cash value will support the policy, but who knows how long? It's based on some external factors there.
Okay. So, one more follow-up then to try and help James out here.
Yep.
So what would you do? You'll probably need more information about a situation, of course, but do you reinvigorate that policy, or at this point, do you maybe think about something new or different?
Oh, that's a tough call. I think I would definitely reinvigorate the policy. So you paid in premiums for X amount of years. Do you want to lose the money that you've paid in? Some people may be okay with that. It just wouldn't be my recommendation. I would probably reinvigorate the policy because what you've paid in is probably substantially less than death benefit.
Okay.
You can also call the insurance company and lower that death benefit. If your financial situation has changed, but you don't want to lose all the money that you've paid into it, maybe call the insurance company and see about lowering that death benefit. That's going to lower your cost of insurance. So if you do try to reinvigorate the policy, like you said, you could have some reduced premiums, which may make it worthwhile.
Reinvigorate the policy, my made-up term.
I like that. No, that's awesome.
It works. Okay, great.
You got such a great way of taking my complex mess and making it super simple for everybody to understand.
We're just going to reinvigorate this policy and make it good to go for you.
I'm gonna add that into my next meeting.
Yes, I like that
word, reinvigorate. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So James, it sounds like there's a few options for you, but this might be something where you want to look at it with an advisor. And Frank, a lot of people assume a financial advisor is just helping them buy stocks or bonds.
Right.
But this is a great illustration where you're doing so much more than that. You're helping people talk about insurance and so many other topics.
Sure. Well, and I think that makes us definitely a fiduciary, but we're securities licensed and life and annuity licensed as well. So it's good to have somebody that's multifaceted so they understand all of the products it takes to run a good retirement and the products that people have in their portfolio when they come in to see us. We need to have that knowledge to make the best advice for them. Give the best advice.
Show people the book. Let's look at the book. It's Your Time Is Now.
Yeah, please get a copy of the book.
This is where Frank breaks down how to understand taxes, income, money, and estate issues, all that can affect your retirement. And that's another good illustration. It's not just about what's in my portfolio, but how are you going to use it? How are you going to prepare for retirement? What's the back end of the math equation going to look like withdrawing money throughout your retirement?
And we talk about life insurance and estate planning in the book.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you want a copy, pick one up.
This is a great starting point. If you've never really dipped your toes into those retirement planning waters, then picking up a copy of the book would be a great first move for you. In fact, we're going to give away 10 copies of the book.
Yeah, we are.
Based on the release date of our video. The first 10 people to request the book, we're going to give you a free copy. All you have to do is check the link in the description of today's show. You'll be able to go right to a landing page where you can put in your information, get this book for free if you're one of the first 10 people to do so, and we'll get it out to you in your hands so you can read it, understand a little bit more about retirement.
It's not just a book. At its release, it was an Amazon best-selling book.
Oh, very nice.
Exactly.
Excellent. Yes. So definitely check that out. And thanks for providing some free copies of that, Frank.
Oh, you bet. Yeah.
I know that'll help some folks.
For the viewers. Sure.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you.
We'll get your copy again. Just check the description of today's show, and you can get your copy of Your Time Is Now. That's it for today's video. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, Walter.
All right. We'll see everybody next time.
Cheers.